Hello everyone, welcome to our Swift development series. In this video we will create a simple to-do list application with CoreData. So let's get started. Firstly, let's create our projects, to-do list app. Okay. The application will be like this. So we will have a add button in the right top corner. When we tap, the alert will be shown, and let's add something. Make a video, and when we add, it will be shown in the list, and when we want to delete it, just simply swipe left and make delete process. So yeah, like that. Yes. It's in simulator, that's why sometimes it makes hard to swipe actions. So let's get started and firstly create our list, create our table view and add add buttons. So firstly I want to embed this view controller to a navigation controller. Here, just write the to-do list. Okay, and let's add a bar item. No, wrong one. Bar button item here, and change it at plus. Oops. It will be a system icon plus, yeah, this one. Okay, cool. So then let's continue and create our table view. And add our table view cell. Okay, I will create it with a default table view cell, not customizing with a custom class. Just list cell, let's type list cell, and no selection for table view. Okay, adding data source and delegate and adding variables to our view controller. By the way, firstly I want to delete this view controller and create my folder structure, controller, view, and model. Okay, and creating our let's say list view controller. Okay, list view controller here. We don't need these lines anymore, and assign our class to our view controller list VC. Okay, and table here, action for our button tapped. Okay, so I think we finished our jobs in storyboard. Then let's add table view data source functions. UI table view data source, number of rows items. First let's make one defaultly, not getting an error. Cell for row at index, let's cell table view with identifier list cell table view cell. Yeah, return cell. So what we are going to do, we will need to show the alert here. Show alert. I'm not going to write alert codes here. I want to create it in another class. Just call from here. Let me show you how we are going to make it. We need a helper folder, just helper classes. So it will be a, by the way, Swift file, UI view controller. It will be actually an extension class for UI view controllers. Make extension UI view controller and write our alert function here. Actually, previously I already created the function, and just I will copy and paste here. So this function will get a title, message, action button, title, cancel button, title, placeholder, and etc. So we don't need write those codes in a view controller and make a view controller more complex. So we just simply need alert text. Yes, here. Let's write. It will be our title firstly. Add item. We don't need any message actually. So our action button will be add. Let's make them button. So cancel. Our cancel action will be cancel. Placeholder. Just let's right tap here, and we need a compilation. Compilation will give us a text that we entered in the text field of the, which will be like that, add item. Enter here, we just writing enter, and when we tap add button, it will return this text to us in a view controller where we want to save to the database. So what we are going to here, save data to database and update, let's make like that, update table view, update list. That's right. Yeah, cool. So let's first run it and be sure that our alert is working. Oops, not iPod Touch. Yeah, cool. Our alert is working. It's nice. Yeah, we have a table view, to-do list at bottom here, and our alert is working. Yeah, cool. So when we tap add, it will come here. Okay. So what we are going to do, we need to save data to database. Firstly, we need to create a database for our application. So how we do it, we will here core. So we need to add here CoreData, a data model for our application. So we can write any name the database. So what I always do, I just write the same name with the application. Yeah, here it's our database, which is extended from XC data model. Actually, you can create it at the beginning of the application when you create new application. When we create new project, we just here have a option that just using CoreData or not. So when you choose the CoreData, it comes with a default creation of the application. So I just want to show how you add after you create a project, how you add database, how you add core data after you create a project. So we need to create our entity, which is a table. So it will be the list. So what we are going to have, we are going to have table, the title of the list, and its string type. So firstly, we need to choose our entity and change the codegen to manual, because when we do it, when you didn't change and it's a class definition, it will give some errors. Let me show you firstly. After you create your entity and adding the attribute of that entities, you need to create the subclasses of this table. So it comes next, list entity. Inside of the application, let's create our class here. We just need to drag here because it's I think it's Xcode Spark. So anyway, so we will have a list entity, it has a title, and it's create over a fetch request. Cool. One more thing we need to add, some codes into the app delegate for some save operation and just calling the core data process. Let's say it's a persistence container, it's called, and it is list app. Change it here. So we have a save context, save process of the application. So we need to add core data. Cool. So after this, our application will see that our to-do list app database already exists. It's working with a persistent container, and it comes here and it checks that we have a list entity and we have a title attribute and etc. So for creation, this is enough, and let's continue to add our codes to save our data. So I want to change something in my folder structure. I'm going to make this process with simple MVVM structure. So that's why I want to create a view model folder, and deleting the controller folder because MVVM doesn't have a controller logic, so everything is view. So let's create our list view model. Let's type class list view model. So our list array, so it will be our list object, which is already created from NS object superclass. So what we are going to have, we need to first listing our data from database, just fetch data, and function save data we need to have, and it will need a title, it will need a string to save it, and we need to have a delete data. Here I want one more class, just core data helper class, writing everything inside of this class, core data helper. So what are this class going to do? It will save, fetch, and delete everything inside of this class, just return the values. Core data helper, it will be a singleton class. So function fetch data will return a list. It will return a list of our object. Why I added with optional? Because when we don't have a data in our table, it will return a nil. That's why we need to handle this optional situation. So write our fetch process, how it's going to happen. It will fetch, it will return actually to us the result from a database. Return try. So how we are going to call, we need to write our context. Context is from the persistent container, so we need to access to this variable. So UI application, let's change it, UI kit application shared delegate app delegate. So persistent container view context. So we get our context, then from this context we can call our data. Fetch list, fetch request, and in catch we can simply write our error local description. Simply we can do this. Cool. That's all for our fetch process, and then let's continue with saving. Save data, title, string. So let's copy paste the catch side. Try self context save. Firstly, but before this line will call automatically save, but firstly we need to add something to our context, so we can create our list object, list. So context is context. So by this context we create our object, then from this object we can add our data. So after that it will automatically save our variable. Then function, let's create our last function, delete data. So delete is a little bit different. So firstly we need to fetch our data from database and delete which data we want. So data equal to fetch data, it's nullable, that's why we need to handle with if let. So after that context will delete object data, but this is an array, data array. Let's write, as you see it's a list array, so which index we want to delete. That's why here we want to need an index of the object. Index, it's automatically will delete it, but of course we need to write it inside of a do catch block, and it will first delete, then save the table and update our table. So CoreData helper is simply like that. Let's do our process in view model. In a fetch we need to update our list array. Let's create our CoreData. CoreData helper. CoreData helper. CoreData helper. Fetch data. It will be an optional. That's why we need to handle. Cool. Oops, list array. Yeah. So CoreData helper, save title, and CoreData helper, delete index. Of course, we need to write index integer and pass this index to our database. So we done our job in our list view model. So let's come back to our view controller and update our codes in the view controller. So we want to save our data to database. Firstly, let's create a view model, list view model, self view model, save text. We can handle with empty text, because when we want to let's run and show, let me show you what's going on. So when we tap this button and when we add button, when we tap just add button, and we see that our text is empty. So what we need to check if text is not empty, then we will update our database. So be careful with this situation. And self table view. So we need to update table view, but before reloading it, we need just fetching the data, because we add new data and fetch data again. So let's create a function, update table view. We just update UI, or you can call whatever you want. So firstly, we need to fetch data, then reloading table view and update table view. Cool. It's simply like that. And let's run it, and before it, let's update our table view model, list array.count and cell.text label.text equal to view model list array index path.row. That title. Yeah. Cool. Create a tutorial. Cool. We add it and we see the result. And let's make a video. Go to shopping. Nice, it's working. Cool. And let's make a delete action. So it will be a delegate UI table view delegate function. We need to extend it also to our view controller, UI table view delegate. So firstly, we need to say that we want the edit actions. So it can edit row, and it will be simple like that. So commit process, that's why it's not going to show, because it can show the editing style. You can insert, add, and other process. So that's why when you swipe, it need to be sure that which type you want here. So let's write if editing style equal delete view model delete index which index path.row and update table view. Yeah, it's hard to clear it. Yeah, here. It's really hard to swipe. Yeah, it's somehow it's deleted, but it's really hard in simulator just swiping into the left. Actually, it's hard for me. So we delete everything and we don't have anything in our application. So that's all for this tutorial, and it's just simple version. So I will update this code and add more actions and some customization on table view, and I will upload it to the website. You can get and download it from here if you want. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like our videos, don't forget just tapping the like button, and if you don't follow us, don't forget to follow, and don't forget open notification. Just get a notification when we upload new videos and new tutorials. Thanks. Bye bye.